how's it going, everybody? We might have one of the most shocking Tophiachu developments in the last 3 or so months. For a long time, ever since the Brother Chu tragedy, Tophiachu has been out on the streets, and luckily for her, she wasn't in the streets. She was in a shelter, and for a little bit she was in a hotel room when she was getting tons of cash apps. And she had the money to spend and splurge on all the food and wants that she possibly could have needed. But then things got a little dry for her. It was getting exposed more and more. Actually, I think I was the first person to put out a video like, hey look, Tophiachu hasn't changed at all. So those donations quickly went away and Tophiachu was left in a rough spot. But she was very fortunate because, you know, she had a place to go, she had a place to stay. And during that time, Tophiachu did absolutely nothing. During my last video that I made about Tophiachu, she mentioned that the only thing that she ever did was just sleep all day and then she might get up to go make a TikTok live or something. Very unproductive. She wasn't doing anything to help her situation out. The only thing she could possibly think of was to grift a little bit more, begging that people give her $500,000 to get her a house, and she probably would wish that that goal was hit sooner than later, like it would ever have happened later, because now, just like the title says, Tophiachu has nowhere to go. She's literally in motel rooms right now, spending her last dollars to have a place to stay. And for so long, so many people were telling her, like, Tophiachu, you've absolutely got to figure something out. You've got to go to like an apartment, start paying rent there, maybe pitch in with Mama Chu so you both have a place to go. But what would Tophiachu do? She would just crash out on whatever commenter said it, ban them, and go along with their day. Remember, it only takes 2 seconds to be kind to everybody, but it takes less than a millisecond for your life to completely flop on its head. For a long time, she had so many safety nets. At first, when she got kicked out of her original hotel, or I guess it was like a motel room back where she's at right now, it was Brother Chu. And no matter what you can say about Brother Chu, he was literally the only person keeping that family afloat. If it wasn't for him, they would have been on the streets like way sooner than they already are. He went to work for like 8 to 10 hours a day. He funded most of the food that they were eating, and Tophiachu would bring in a little bit through TikTok lives. And late at night, him, Mama Chu, and Tophiachu would go out door dashing, which in a sense is basically still Brother Chu earning every bit of their income. But after the Brother Chu tragedy, things were looking a little iffy. People were like, I really don't know what Tophiachu is going to do. But she was getting thousands in cash apps. It was so good, or I guess it was so much, that Cash App was like, whoa, this is kind of odd. We're going to suspend this account till we can figure out what's going on. And things were eventually figured out. But now it's looking like, well, Tophiachu, if you would have actually spent that Cash App money on something good, you wouldn't be in this situation. But instead, she looked the gift horse in the mouth and just went along with it. She just let it ride like she always does, and basically was like, let's just see what happens from this. And this is exactly where it led up to. Instead of listening to all the viewers who she called trolls, who she called haters, and spending most of her time complaining about absolutely useless stuff on the internet when she could have been battling, she could have been trying to build up her reputation. And I will remind you again, after the Brother Chu tragedy, her reputation, I don't know if it necessarily skyrocketed, but there was tons of sympathy, tons of people willing to donate to Big Toph, but she completely flushed that down the drain and left herself with even fewer fans than she had in the first place, and even more doubt on her living situation, because we all knew this was going to end. We all knew the shelter saga was going to come to an end, everybody but Tophiachu. She definitely thought this was going to be her life for at least a couple of years. I mean, basically you could see that when she was telling people like, oh, well, you know, it's going to take me like a year or so to get on these lists for the government, and after that, you know, I'll probably be able to get something. But before that, guys, just make sure to donate $500,000 to me, and I for sure won't go to a Comic-Con. And I bet she's really regretting those Comic-Cons right now, but what am I saying? You know she's not even thinking about it. Because as of today, or at least the day I'm recording this, Tophiachu got kicked out, and no one really knows why she got kicked out in the first place, but there's a lot of speculation. I mean, there's a couple of things that we could easily point to. A majority of the time that she's been on live stream the last, I don't know, 2-3 weeks, she's been trash talking the shelter that she lives in. In one of my most recent videos, she claims that there's rodents all over the place and that she's got to get out of there. A very bad look for the organization, and if you got someone with such a big following as Tophiachu, that can raise some questions and possibly do too bad for all of the other women staying there who are in a very similar situation as Tophia, but far more grateful that people are actually trying to help them out. But not Toph. She really didn't care about that at all. She thinks the world owes her everything. She thought she deserved a house. She thought she deserved a car. Did she ever work for it? Did she ever consider getting a 9-to-5? No, she spent most of that time flip-flopping on her reasons why she can't. And originally it was because, oh well, all the trolls would come there and talk trash about me and I'd get fired almost instantly. Even though Brother Chu had a job for basically the entire Chu Cruiser saga, and that never seemed to affect him very much. But Tophiachu, she quickly ignored that because she had a better reason. She's like, listen, I got some problems going on upstairs. I can't work a job, even though there's tons of people, tons and tons of people in America and all kinds of different other countries who might not be the most well-adjusted people. They might have problems going on, but they still go to work because what the hell else are you going to do? Just sleep all day in the shelter you've been so graciously gifted? Well, no, that's not what a majority of people do, but Tophiachu thought it was all golden. She thought everything was good until now. Until now, something bad has recently happened, and I could also assume that it's because she's been doing these TikTok lives, and that could be a dangerous situation for the other ladies that stay in that shelter. Tophiachu doesn't consider anyone else. It's all about her, and if she's got a problem, well, it's not really her problem. It's your problem, the viewer listening to this, everyone who knows about her, even the people who don't. It's their fault that she's in this situation. Even though the only person who could have possibly fixed it is Tophiachu herself. And in these coming clips that I'm going to show you guys, and I'm just, you can see already from the time on the video, but this is probably going to be my shortest video ever, besides like the huge crazy updates that really didn't have a lot of story to them. It was just maddening what happened. This is going to be one of the shorter ones because Tophiachu, she really doesn't give us a lot of information about what's going on, but this was just too crazy for me not to tell you guys about.
No, I'm not going for a walk, thank you. Well, I do have somewhere to be because I have to figure out where the heck I'm gonna go. I can't keep paying for rooms. I gotta pay for my storage. No, it's not. That's why I can't pay for another room because I have to save the money to pay for storage. Something happened. I couldn't change my clothes and now I'm here with the same clothes. Okay, so that's the reason why I'm wearing this shirt because I couldn't change. That is so nice. Yes, because I couldn't change out of my shirt. I had an issue, and now I'm in these clothes. I was not allowed to change. Well, I don't want to say too much because, yeah, anyways. I said stuff yesterday, so there's a lot going on. This whole week has been a crazy week. Well, something just happened, so, yeah, I almost had to sleep under the bridge. So, yeah, that's crazy.
So yeah, as you could see, it was a very sudden exit for Tophiachu, and it definitely leaves me wondering if Tophiachu did something way worse than we even know about currently. It'll probably get revealed here in the coming weeks, but how is it so bad that you just get rushed out of the shelter almost instantly? What, was she finally pulling a Papachu and putting the green crosses all over the place to ward off the trolls? I don't know, but that's just my speculation on what possibly could happen. But all jokes aside, I really don't know if she understands what kind of terrible situation she has placed herself in by just not doing anything to help herself out. She is on the streets now. If she's like spending money on motel rooms, that's gonna dry up super fast. Those are like what, $30-$40 a night? Do you think Tophiachu even has enough to spend an entire week in a motel room with what she has in the bank account? I sure don't. And even if it's only a week, what could she possibly get together in time for her to have any place to go? At this point, she might really need to be hitting up that uncle, if she hasn't burnt that bridge already, to try and move in with him, or try to go to the place that Mama Chu is staying, so she might be able to do that. But from my understanding, where Mama Chu is staying, it's only for people like her and not Tophiachu. For a long time, we've all been saying Tophiachu has to grow up. She's got to realize that she's a 31-year-old woman with no job experience in the world. She's got to figure something out right now, or it's not looking good. And I truly think that this is the time in her life where it's going to rear its ugly head, and she's going to realize, like, wow, I have not put myself in a single position for success. Because, I mean, what can she possibly do? In a week or so, she's out of the motel rooms, and she will be literally on the streets. You heard her there at the final clip. She's like, guys, I was almost staying under a bridge tonight. We know how fearful she is of random strangers. That would be the life that she's living amongst strangers, just hoping for the generosity of other strangers. She has really got herself into a dangerous predicament. I've heard New Mexico isn't the safest place around. You guys know that from the Brotherchu tragedy. She might literally have to go find Papachu wherever he is at the moment and try to bunk up with him in whatever little makeshift house that he's made for himself. Like, that really might be one of the last options Tophiachu has in this world. It's so crazy that it's got to this point. I mean, we all knew it would get here, but I certainly didn't think it would be like less than a year. And it's all because Tophiachu's attitude and the way she thinks about the world. If she would have just listened just a little bit, she would not be in this situation. She would not be in this situation. Things would be looking a lot better for her. Not perfect, by no means would it be perfect, but she wouldn't be living like this. And in the next week or so, I mean, I've already mentioned it, it's not going to be looking good, guys. Who knows what this story could end up like? I'm not even going to try to take a guess because most of the scenarios are very, very bad. But really, guys, that's enough for me today. I just wanted to give you guys an update what's going on, give my thoughts about possibly why this could happen, why she's in this situation in the first place. And after this, the only thing we can do is wait and see till the next live stream and see what's truly going on. But guys, like I said, that's enough for me today. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, follow all the socials down below, use the new hype feature, comment, and I'll catch you guys next time.